Well, Mondays are normally the most boring day starting the week, but here on DWZ, we like to keep your Mondays fun and exciting. So I decided, you know what? What the hell? Let's continue with more Japanese wrestling. The first one is from Pro Wrestling Noah with Sunny Voyage as we continue with more of the Victory Challenge Tag League. It's already officially over, but I haven't caught up with it yet. So we're going to be continuing on with that as we speak. Then we move on with P.P.P Tokyo with their much recent show that was produced by none other than Chanyota with the show called Love and Muscles, which is really interesting. But we are going to see some talent, and one of those talents is coming from Stardom. We're talking about Saya Ida. And then, of course, we move on with more of New Japan Pro Wrestling, continuing on with the New Japan Cup. We have two matches involving the second round matches, so we'll be following that. And then, of course, we have some news updates to tell on what's been going on in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set, and other developments that have been happening in the world of pro wrestling. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to the Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world where pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also do more news updates. If I'm unable to put it on this episode, I can put it on a separate video by itself. We also do real timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something interesting has happened in the world of pro wrestling that has to be addressed as soon as possible. We also do the United Sayaka Watch and other cool stuff as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us. So click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool stuff as well. But if you like this episode, please give us the like button, or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions are set aside, needs to be said. So I say let's begin with our very first review, and that is from Pro Wrestling Noah. Okie dokie. So, Pro Wrestling Noah, as you know, we continue with more of the Sunny Voyage Tour, and we continue with more of their annual Tag League tournament, the Victory Challenge Tag League. However, these are divided in separate ways in the events. So let's begin with the non-tournament matches. Our first one, we have a three-way match. We have Hajime Ohara versus Ninja Mac versus Hayata. Now, I'm not gonna lie, these guys are excellent junior heavyweight competitors, and by the way, they're all former GHC junior heavyweight competitors. So the obvious question, who was gonna walk out? I think that was a very tough thing. But however, we did see certain moments where Ninja Mac kind of played Hayata because they're trying to take out O'Hara, but that did not work in Ninja Mac's favor until Hayata realized what it was actually going on. But you would think that, Hayata, who's been considered the best of his division, would have picked up the win. But no, it was Ninja Mac who did it when he pinned O'Hara, and that kind of ended right there. So he picked up the good win. Now, our next match, we have a tag team match. We have Junta Miyawaki and Alejandro taking on the members of GLG, consisting of Tadasuke and Anthony Green. Now, of course, GLG is the fan favorite of the group, very strong, capable faction. Um, have you noticed that Anthony Green is the only one out of all three competitors in this ring, in this match, that is a heavyweight? So he's basically facing wrestlers that could do high flying stuff around them. But that did not stop or put any dent in their junior heavyweight style into this match, because it was Anthony Green who picked up the win when he pinned Alejandro, and that sets it all. Now, our next match, we have Hiroki taking on Jake Lee. Now, as you know, Hiroki is a representative of Team Noah. He faces against the leader of GLG, Jake Lee. So you would think that this is going to be a very tough battle for Hiroki. I mean, it is, because Jake Lee is a big individual. I mean, I'm not talking about size, possibly height, but his powerness has always been a good factor that's been put in on several occasions. But unfortunately, Hiroki did not have what it takes to put him down, because it was the big boot that put him away and giving Jake Lee the win. Now, our next match, we have, well, the next two matches are part of the Victory Challenge Tag League. We have Daiki Inaba and Masa Kirimiya taking on Yu Owada and Keno. Now, it's no secret that Keno and, of course, Masa Kitamiya actually know each other pretty well, because, as you know, Masa used to be a member of Congo until he decided to break away to strike on his own. But we know Keno has had no interest of being in tag league, but he's always been impressed with Owada, who's been a good student, follow his their instruction. But when he noticed that Owada had to fight on his own, knowing that he could not tag in, I'm sure Owada will love to see Keno pick up the win himself. But when situations don't go his way, he has to stay strong long as possible until he can try to tag out. But unfortunately, that did not go exactly his way, because it was a somewhat of a backdrop suplex by Kitamiya onto Owada to pick up the win. So they ended up with 3 points, and of course, Owada and Keno still remain in one. Now, our next match for the Victory Challenge Tag League, we have Real, consisting of Saxon Huxley and Timothy Thatcher, taking on Ulka Zazaki and Takashi Sugiura. This is going to be a tough battle, especially for Zazaki, who has never dealt with guys like Real, because Real, they are the most toughest SOBs on the planet. They will stop at nothing to reach to the top, and that's exactly what they've been doing. But unfortunately, Sasaki ended up on the wrong side of a choke power bomb by Huxley that picked up the win. So Real ended with 6 points, which means they won 3 matches. And as for Sasaki and Sugiura, they ended up with 4. Now, our next match is, of course, not part of the um, of the of the Victory Challenge match. This is the last one of the non-tournament. So this is what we have. We have GLG, consisting of Yohei, LJ Clearing, and Jack Morris. They take on Stinger members Daga, Yoshinari Ogawa, and then of course they're being accompanied by Super Crazy, who's been a reliable tag partner. Now, however, things have gotten escalated between, of course, Daga, who has declared himself the king of the junior heavyweight, that this is his kingdom. Tadasuke, as you know, has challenged for this belt, and of course, that's what he was going for. However, Daga actually low blowed Yohei without the ref noticing it. But however, GLG decided to appear to take the matters worse to stop Daga from taking the win. Anthony Green comes out, gets in the face of course, of the ref. While Daga was distracted, he did not see Tadasuke, who low blowed him and then allowed for Yohei to pick up the win. I don't think that they did not expect it, and I'm sure Daga refuses to let that happen. But that's how it is. I mean, he got away with many matches to prove that he is the best, that he runs the entire junior heavyweight division. But now Tadasuke is going to make it happen. So we'll see what happens from here on out. Now, our next two matches, I believe, yep, are the Victory Challenge Tag League. We have Alpha Wolf and his brother Dragon Bane taking on Rohi Oiwa and Kato Kiyomiya. Now, of course, we have seen both brothers. They are excellent. They have determined to jump ship to become heavyweight competitors, but they still have that whole high flying maneuver, which of course they're well known for. But you would think that that would give them the opportunity to pick up the win. No, because it was the Shining Wizard by Kiyomiya to Alpha Wolf, and just like that, it ended. And it gave, of course, Rohi Oiwa and Keito Kiyomiya 5 points. So that means they have a draw and two wins. So I think they might have either one or two losses. I don't know. But now we jump into our main event, which features Shuji Kondo and Manabu Soya taking on Team Noah's Asushi Koroge and Go Shiozaki. So this was a tough battle because we know that Manabu Soya is a tough SOB, and so is Shuji Kondo. So basically, that was going to be a tough challenge. Now, I would have assumed that Kotoge would have picked up the miracle, but no, it was Go Shiozaki who picked up the win when he applied a lariat onto Kondo, and boom. Just like that, they pick up the win with 6 points, leaving, of course, Kondo and Manabu Soya with 3 points. I believe they have a tie and a win. I don't know how many losses they had. So we'll see more of the victory challenge down the road, hopefully, and I'll review those as soon as possible. But right now, let's move on with our next review, and I believe that is none other than P.P.P. Tokyo. P.P.P. Tokyo with Chanyota's produced show known as Love Muscle. Now, this originally happened on the 5th of March, but it wasn't uploaded until their YouTube channel until today, which is of course March 11th. Now, you probably asked me why they do that. Well, certain promotions are known to do that. They just tape their shows on one day and they try to edit what they need to do and upload it at another later time. So it's been known to do that. I mean, for me, I record things on a, let's say, since today is Monday, I uploaded until Tuesday. So now you know. So anyway, I don't know if this is her first self-produced show that Chanyota has ever done. I look, don't get me wrong, Chanyota, she is an amazing person. She is determined to succeed in wrestling despite the fact that certain people criticized her because of her side job. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, she does adult films in Japan. So that's one of the main reasons. But you know what I say that? F that, because it isn't about her doing that. This is about her wrestling. Who cares about that? If she can wrestle, that means she's okay by me. That's the good thing. But I cannot determine whether if this is Chanyota's first produced show. Now I know that her friend Marika Kobashi has produced one show before. So, but however, I like the title, Love and Muscle. Not a cat, not a bad catchy title for a show. But nonetheless, she's the one who booked this entire thing herself. So let's get started. See how she did. But she will be in the main event, just to put it there on record for all of you. Our first match, we have tag team match, and we have Kisuke Ishii. He teams up with the boss of P.P.P. Tokyo, Kabuto Hitomi. They take on Joji Otani and Shota. Yep. So I thought the match was pretty interesting, very good. I mean, one thing is interesting is Otani. He's a very small individual, but don't let the size fool you. Kind of like we've seen with Riho, but he is determined to pick up the win no matter what. But unfortunately, it was, of course, the boss, Itomi, who picked up the win by pinning Otani just like that. I don't think Otani expected it, but it just did. Now, our next match, we have a bit of an intergender match. We have Natsu Surime taking on Kitaro uh, Hashisu. This match was okay. Not Not gonna lie. I mean, Surumi Natsu is not afraid to face against guys. I mean, she had dealt with them before, but you got to be careful with the whip because she'll whip your ass up. But unfortunately, Hashizu went too far. Basically, he was taking things way too far with Surumi Natsu. The ref tried to tell him to stop doing this. He was doing inappropriate things, and all of a sudden, um, he decided to get all physical with the ref, and the ref had no other choice but to end this match. But the match ended in Natsu Tsurumi's of course win, but he was out of control. But we'll see him in a little bit. Now, our next match, we have Kaho Kobayashi. She takes on against Saya Ida from Stardom. That's right. This is gonna be a fun match because both ladies like to flex their muscles in front of each other. Who is the strongest? Now, let's look factors here of that match. Kaho Kobayashi, we know she's involved in fitness modeling. She does one of those competitions every now and then. Uh, Saida, she's amazing. She even for her size, she's always strong, always will to continue fighting no matter how things get difficult. But you ask yourself, can she pull off a win against someone like her, like to Kobayashi? Yes, you would think so because, as I said, don't let her size fool you. I mean, she looks small, but she is strong as hell. I mean, people talk about her chops. Even other wrestlers in Stardom talk about her chops. But it was a Ida with a somewhat modified version of a muscle buster that sealed the deal for her and picked up the win. So I thought, not bad. I like it. So not gonna complain there. Now, our next match we have Riki Aitaka taking on Hideki Sakin. This was a very interesting match. These two men have expertise in matches like the UWF rules type. I mean, that wasn't pretty much what was going on. Uh, Practically, I wasn't too much feeling the love for this one until it was over. Until it was Sakin who picked up the win by rolling up Aitaka. But however, things got a little complicated. It appears that Natsumi Tsurumi has a scorn to settle with Gentaro Shizu after what he did in their match together. So basically, she was chasing him and this sumo guy around with her damn whip. Now, Hashizu actually made the mistake getting in the ring, but he got his ass handed to him by none other than Aitaka and Sakin until they just blasted it. So basically, he got what he deserves because for some odd reason, Hashizu was dressing up in, of course, in Natsusuneme's gear and her wrestling outfit. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? So he has gone cuckoo bananas. I don't know why, but it was fun. Now our main event, we have Zones. She teams up with none other than the person who produced the show, Chanyota, and they take on uh, two veteran wrestlers. We're talking about Passion, Nanane Takahashi and Anaki Ryo Mizunami. So you would think this is gonna be a tough challenge. Yes, because we have seen Nanane Takahashi what she can do. We know Ryo Mizunami what she can do. But the real question is, can Zones and Chanyota pull it off? Well, I don't know. But they did have the strong and will to do that. But unfortunately, Chanyota suffered the fate thanks to Nanane Takahashi with the refrigerator bomb, and it was over from there. Of course, Chanyota did a little promo as soon as it was over because this is, after all, her self-produced show that she did. But nonetheless, it was a pretty good one. But the one match I did not like is the fourth one. That one kind of like a little bit boring for me. I mean, she could have done better, but I'm sure she'll learn from this. Nonetheless, the show is pretty great. Now, if you guys are probably wondering, can we see the show? Yes, you can. It's on YouTube. All you got to do is go to P.P.P Tokyo, and there it is. Love Muscle. That's like the just recent uploaded video. So check it out. I think that's pretty much it for this promotion. I believe it's time for New Japan. Okay, New Japan Pro Wrestling as we continue with more of the New Japan Cup. This is day 5. Now let's begin with the non New Japan Cup matches. The first one we have the Young Lions, Shota Kato and Bolton Ole taking on TMDK, consisting of Mikey Nichols and Zack Sabre Jr. Now you would think that this match would automatically ended up with TMDK. Well, you might have been right because it was Mikey Nichols with a short range lariat onto um, Kato, and it was over right from there. So, well, nice try, kid, but back to the drawing board. Now, our next match, we have just 5 guys. Doiki, Yuya Uemura, and Taichi. Now, they faces against Tomoaki Hamna, El Desperado, and Tomohiro Ishii. Now, I want to make a note on this particular match. It was very unusual that we saw Tomohiro Ishii and Despi talking because basically it's kind of weird. Ishii is a member of Chaos. Despi is part of the Hung Tai, which is wrestlers that are not consistently in any faction or unit. But luckily, Walker had a little chat with Tomohiro Ishii and asked him what was that all about. And he tells him that right now he feels that Chaos should work more closely with the Hung Tai since we know that Chaos are without a leader. We know where he is now. I mean, it is an excellent point. I mean, Despi is one of those Hung Tai wrestlers we definitely could see. But nonetheless, that there were moments we did see Despi. He he gets in the faces of certain members of Just 5 Guys. More specifically, Doiki, Doiki and Taichi. Now, why is those guys specifically? If you guys have forgotten, all 3 of these guys, Doiki, Taichi, and Despi, they were members of Suzuki Gun until they disbanded. But Doiki does have some, I don't know, some issues towards Despi because Despi used to call him that he's a piece of, you know what, because he wasn't a good wrestler from his perspective. But we have seen Doiki grown up so much since then. But you would think that this is going to be an interesting match. Well, it did. However, Yuya Uemura, we have watched him how he's grown so much as well. Not to mention he has grown a lot more since losing his hair to Yota Tsuji. But it was an arm bar that put away Hamna and forced him to tap out just like that. So good job, kid. Now, our next match, we have Togi Makabe and Hiroki Goto. They take on Bullet Club members, more consistently, our current IWGP Tag Champions, that Weasel Kenta and Chase Owens. So you would think that, of course, like any other match, there'll be some um, cutting corners and cheatiness coming through. Well, that's exactly what happened. Um, Chase Owens waxed Toki Makabe with the belt, and Kenta picked up the win. And then as soon as the match was over, they attacked Hiroki Goto because the reason is we all know it's no secret that we could see a potential that Goto and Yoshihashi could make a play for the tag team belts at another time. But right now they're focusing on of course, the New Japan Cup. Now our next match we have Shota Umino. He teams up with the guys from God, Jado, and Tongaloa. Now they face against, of course, the War Dogs, Ghetto, Gabe Kid, and David Finlay. Now we do see David Finlay will face against Tongaloa in the New Japan Cup. You can call this a prelude match. But you would think that there will be moments to see Yado and Ghetto will try to beat the crap out of each other after Ghetto turned his back on Yado. But however, that wasn't the case because it was Shota Umino with Death Rider that put that weasel down and giving them the win. Now, our next match, as always, we expect all the time House of Torture along with Kanemaru, Yujiro, Evil, and who else? Oh, yeah, and Narita. They take on Taguchi, Yo, and members of God, Hikuleo, and Phantasmo. However, Sho, who's been playing games with Yo, who's been playing games with Sho, who stole his belt, even though Sho, who's a piece of garbage, saying that me stealing the belt is not a big deal because it's mine. Uh, you did steal it, Sho. You're an idiot. But Yo decided to do the same thing. So he hid the belt. He came back. However, of course, like any other type of match with the House of Torture, Dick Togo was going to get involved at some point. And then we saw the push-up bar onto Taguchi, then the double cross. But however, that wasn't the case because Hikuleo will be facing Evil in the New Japan Cup. But however, Evil, who said this on a statement, he's not going to let an evil person like Hikuleo, which I think is a load of crap because he thinks that there's still the evil spirit of Tama Tonga still lying around. So he decided to dismantle his knee. But don't piss off the big man because they will get his revenge. But if I was GOD, I would definitely try to have backup, get Shota Umino, get Despy because that is something they need to pay attention before their match. Now, our final match before we get to the matches of the New Japan Cup, we have United Empire, Calvin Newman, Francisco Cara, TJP, Jeff Cobb, and Great Khan. They take on LIJ's Bushi, Hirmu, Yota Tsuji, Shingo Takagi, and Tetsuya Naito. So you would think that this is there's certain factors of this one. I would say so. I think Shingo will be facing I think Great Khan on this one. I'm not sure. No, he's not. I don't remember. But anyway, but you know that they will love nothing more to get their hands on Naito to bring back the IWGP World Heavyweight title. Uh, but unfortunately, this match ended with, of course, Khan with his little submission move onto Bushi and ended like that. So we'll see where that leads. Now let's jump into our two second round matches of the New Japan Cup. First one we have the scapegoat, Jack Perry, taking on Toru Yano. Now, of course, Jack Perry said that he has been studying this match. Yano, he knows that Yano is always up to his usual tricks. However, Yano has always been prepared, as always. But however, he had Yujiro by his side. Yujiro tried to handcuff Yano, but fortunately, that little punk actually got himself handcuffed himself by Yano. So you would think that that would have been the end of it, but however, ref showed up, then the ref was taken out. Then of course things have been going chaotic, but Jack Perry was able to pick up the win. So we'll see what happens. I'm just hoping that Shota Umino gets his hands on Jack Perry to derail them from not winning the New Japan Cup. I would like to see that because that would frustrate them completely. Now, our next match, which is our main event, Yoshihashi versus Sanada. Now, we have seen Yoshihashi successful as a tag team specialist, but you're yet to see him in a singles match. Now, we have seen that he was successful defeating Kenta to get to this round, but you're facing against a guy who has been at the top of his game. We're talking about Sanada, the former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. You would think that this could have been a lucky opportunity for Yoshihashi to finally proceed to the top. Well, it was an amazing match. I mean, Yoshihashi poured his entire fighting spirit into this match, but unfortunately, it was Sanada with the deadfall and allowing him to pick up the win. However, the commentators also made something of a good note. It appears Sanada's next opponent in the next round of the quarterfinals of the New Japan Cup, apparently there's going to be a rematch to the Forbidden Door. Sanada will face against Jack Perry. But if I was just five guys, I would get additional help. Get those who hate those pieces of garbages, the House of Torture, and make sure that they will not get away with this one. This would definitely ruin Jack Perry's parade. If I was Shota Umino and he sees that the former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion is in trouble, stop him before anything else. I would say if I was Shotuma, that's what I would do. But get just five guys because they would stop at nothing to stop Sanada because Evil did said it in his own words. He thinks Sanada was unfit to be champion, but we'll see what happens until then. So I think that's pretty much with New Japan. I believe it's time for news updates. Okay, welcome to our news updates. So let's get started. Now, first things first, we're going to be updating you guys on the events of the promotions. So let's get started with that first. Our first one is Gatoh Move. As you know, we have coming up the Road to Korakuen Hall, the soccer days that will take place, I believe, this coming Wednesday in Japan. They will upload that video at another later time. I don't know when. But as you know, they debuted a new wrestler who was showing up in, of course, in Got to Move an exhibition match. Her name was Eriko. Well, they just renamed her into Eddie Kanai. She'll be making her debut with Got to Move on that particular day. Now, there's a bit of an info about her. Let me pull that up real quick. Yes. Let's see. Yes, here it is. Uh, According to this information, it says she was born on April 8th, 1983. She's a bit more older than me. You probably ask, man, she's like in her 40s. She's already still wrestling. Well, Tokiko, she's in her late 40s. So nothing wrong with that. She's originally from Gifu Prefecture, Japan. Her height is about 156 centimeter. She weighs in about 52 kilograms. Her hobbies is musical, vocal music, and all this other stuff. So she'll be making her debut with Got to Move real soon, and she has been will be participating in, in Road to Korkun. She has been paired up with Sayaka. They take on Makoto and Emi Sakura. So let's show her some good support, see how she does on her debut match. Now, later on this month, we will see MLW with War Chamber. This will happen on the 29th. Two matches have been announced for that particular day. We have Timothy Thatcher versus Matt Riddle. It's interesting to see this match because these two guys are no strangers with each other. If you guys remember, they were tag team in NXT, then turned enemies. So that sort of puts it out there. But another match has been added, and this one is for the MLW World Featherweight Championship, and Janai Kai faces against Unagi Sayaka. So that's right, folks. Unagi is in this match. I'm excited. You're excited, so I can't wait to see that. But I can't wait to see how annoying Unagi is going to be towards what's her name, to Selena De La Vega. But if I was Unagi, I keep my eyes on her. Now, as you know, we have updates for the upcoming Philly shows for WrestleMania week. GCW, with the GCW versus the World, has announced that Stardom's very own Shooty will be there. So that's right, Shooty's going to be there. Some of you have been questioning, really? They're allowing this to happen? I'll explain more about that in a bit. We also announced that Spark Joshi Puroresu of America, for their Trailblaze a show on the 7th of April, they announced for the submission sniper, Konami will be there. So, yeah, I'm very excited for that. Now, interesting developments. New Japan and Stardom will be participating in a show outside of Japan. They'll be making their way for the Wrestling World 2024 on the 14th of April, and this is going to take place in Taipei, Taiwan. Now, some of you are saying, really? Now, if you guys remember, I did mention this before. New Japan and Stardom has started a federation with other promotions from other countries, from Taiwan, from China, from Singapore, even Thailand. And I think that's one of those things that we're going to be expecting. So it's very interesting to hear that. So they haven't announced who will participate yet, but we will keep an eye out on that. Now, speaking on April 14th here in America, um, the Deadlock Pro Wrestling, or DPW, has announced for their No Pressure show, there's going to be a no disqualification match between Kobe Carino and Masato Tanaka. Now, finally, on the 18th of April, no, the 18th of May, West Coast Pro will have their show for the coast. Now, that was officially announced in a previous news update on a recent episode. They even announced Naomichi Marufuji will be involved. And then after that, but now they announced that Marufuji's opponent for this particular match is going to be none other than Titus Alexander. So this is going to be interesting. Those who know this, Titus Alexander spent some time in Japan, mostly participating in Noah. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are looking forward to it too as well. Now, I think that's pretty much it with the promotion. So let's talk about certain developments. Um, you may have heard already the sad news, especially for you guys, the males. After 7 years, it was announced by TMZ. Uh, MIRO and his wife CJ Perry are officially splitting up. They are calling their marriage quits. Now, I know some of you might have been questioning what was this, the significance, what caused this to be for them to split up. Well, CJ mentioned that it has nothing to do with, getting into fights or physical or abuse or none of that. It's just simply they fell apart. They grew apart from each other. I mean, with their busy schedule. I mean, it's understandable. I mean, things like that in marriages happen. Sometimes when you split some time with your wife or your husband, it just causes that type of thing, and you have to think about what's best for you guys. I mean, if you think that separating is best and healthy, that's fine. But she did stated that they continue to be close friends and they hope to work together in the future. So we'll see how that rolls up for them. But I wish nothing for the best for both of them. Now, as you know, I mentioned this before. Shooty made her appearance, will make her appearance in GCW versus the World on the 7th of April. However, you all know recently that many of Stardom talent will be appearing in Spark Joshi Puroresu of America. It's now been told that Stardom talent are given permission to appear in minor promotions, like the companies that are not in the bit in the with higher standards, like just independent promotions. So basically, they can participate in any show during WrestleMania week. So it's still unclear who will be participating for that. As you know, that the Stardom will have their shows. They will have a show in the U.S. as well. So while they're there, they can appear at any promotion as they please. So I like that. I like that they're thinking that outside the box. Now, finally, as you know, Kenny has been active on Twitch. He gave his thoughts about the Stardom Gawa situation. This is what he said. I think right at this very moment is very strong. You're getting some really good matches quality, but I think because of the drama surrounding Stardom, I think you're getting more eyeballs on the product in general. So I think for the performers and stars to have chatter surrounding the promotion, but then they're delivering in the ring while people are kind of paying attention to what they're doing. I think it's very good positive for them. I think it and I think for the people that want to leave the promotion, it's good for them because they want people to watch their stuff, become fans of them, and move along and with them when they leave. But when for but then for the people who are trying to stay within the Stardom and make the best promotion that they can, be themselves, be the best form of what they can be, you have a reason to stick around and continue to watch Stardom. I think it's a win-win for everybody, and I like seeing a competitive nature. I like seeing wrestlers perform like they're hungry. I like to see it as someone who is a wrestler love to see it. So basically, his situation, he knows that now that things are looking a little interesting now with Stardom, I think they are trying to tell the fans who are still watching Stardom, it's good that they're focused now on that rather than the drama itself, what's happening. And he also says it is good now that it's healthy that if those who are leaving, they want fans to pay attention to them, they can do more of their stuff. So he's giving his thoughts on Twitch. So I don't have him on Twitch, but I'm looking forward to see what he does. He always has opinions about other things in pro wrestling, but we'll see what happens. But for now, I think we're done with everything else. I think we're done with all the reviews, our news updates. So I think it's time to call it a day. All right. I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, we do have more of the New Japan Cup and also NXT. Now, I haven't decided yet if I want to put in another wrestling event. I'm still behind on MLW with their intimidation games. I'll probably be doing that next, make that as a priority as well. But from here on out, I don't know what else. Uh, we'll see what happens until then. But for now, this is all I have for all of you. I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.